Hi guys, my name is Kamil Halluncinations. I'm a class of 2028 and a finance major, and today let's talk about one of the most important things to understand about using generative AI. Not to scare you off, but because understanding this will change how you use these tools, and it's called a hallucination. And once you really understand what that is, not that it just exists, you'll be a fundamentally different user. These models don't know things the way that we do. There's no internal fact checker in the model that says and pauses to itself, am I sure about this? It generates responses by predicting the most statistically likely sequence of words based on patterns in its training data, whether drawing from rich, well-documented information or filling gaps on places where it may have no basis to fill. But that output looks identical either way. The same confidence and the same fluency and the same tone. But that's not a bug because it's exactly what the tool is. It really has no truth-seeking and truth-tracking underneath the language in itself. Here's an example. Say you're writing a paper and you ask AI to pull together some academic sources on your topic. And it throws out, say, 3 citations, real-sounding authors and scholarly titles. And you cite them. Your professor tries to find them, but he can't because none of them really exist. The model generated citations by the way it generates everything else, by producing what a citation statistically looks like. Nothing on the surface told you that something was wrong, but that's the true danger. Not answers obviously wrong, but answers false in ways that are completely invisible on its first glance. Hallucinations aren't evenly distributed, but cluster in specific genres, such as proper names, citations, dates, and recent events that the model hasn't been trained on, and even niche topics with limited training data. Broad conceptual explanations like how a process works, what a framework may mean, are generally at a lower risk, because the model has seen these ideas from many different angles. But the moments you need to ask something for something specific or something verifiable, that's when you need to slow down. Precision is where the model sounds confident, but it's most likely to be wrong. So what do we do with that? 2 things that follow directly from what we just covered. First, verify anything specific before its use. Citations, statistics, name studies, and even direct quotes. Treat them as unconfirmed until you've checked them yourself independently. Not because AI is unreliable in general, but because those are structurally some of the highest risk outputs given the model's design. Second, change what you're asking for. Instead of asking the model to give you sources, ask it what to explain the landscape of a topic, and then find sources yourself. Instead of asking for a specific figure, ask it to explain the concept and note where precise data would need to be verified. You're using it to think as a tool, not to retrieve, and that distinction matters enormously. The students who get the most out of these tools aren't the ones who are using it the most, but the ones who understand what exactly they're working with. A model that can't distinguish between what it knows and what it generates is an extraordinarily powerful thinking partner, but a poor substitute for a fact. Keep that line clear and you'll use it well.